Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. Well, we got a blanket of snow here in the DC area. It's winter. It's what we get. I have no idea why it's always such big news. It's DC. It's the North. We get snow. Okay. Don't everybody freak out. Anyway, I gave up worrying about the weather a long time ago, simply because I have absolutely no control over it. It used to be funny when I would go into some of the stores when I repped for cosmetic companies. People would say, "How you doing, Sandy?" I go, the sun came up this morning. Can you believe it? And more than likely, it's going to go down tonight. I just don't know. I'm going to worry about that all day. So it used to be a joke. "Hey, Sandy, did the sun come up this morning?" I believe that it did, because I'm here, right? So anyway, don't worry about the things you can't control. So this is a huge theme right now across the board. I'm literally listening to what I would call spiritually aware groups that I have joined in the last year. And I am listening to people go so far deep into conspiracy theories. Like it's almost like it's a everybody's a suspect. So I'm listening at the most ridiculous conversations on these Telegram groups that I literally had to mute everybody, because it's like someone's gone into this such a deep schizo something that literally it's you and then you and then you, and then they'll make comments about it, and then other people will jump into it. I'm like, "Ooh, you guys are going down a timeline. Ooh, you guys are going into the ditch. I'm not going there. I'm just not going there." So I had to mute and block a lot of people because, number one, again, I have no control over it. What I have control over is me and my dial. And my dial will not go in that direction. It just won't. There's nothing I can do to change them. There's no comment that I want to make to even influence what it is that they're saying. I just am not ignoring it. I'm just detaching from that cluster of nothingness, because it serves me in a way that takes me away from my service work, being in my heart. So when we get all tripped up with this mind stuff that's going on about things that we have no control over, we've literally just been spinning our wheels and our vehicles aren't going anywhere. And our vehicles need to be in the mode of heart-centered movements and seeing things with a broader sense of consciousness. And I had a topic this morning when I did an interview with the Unlikely Chandler, and we talked a lot off camera. And she's actually more comfortable off camera, but she's going to get comfortable on camera, because we're going to keep doing this, because, this is cool information that comes through. Is that the puppet makers are gone. The puppet masters are gone. They're gone. What we have left now is a cloud residual of habitual, in control things happening. And those that are carrying that frequency haven't looked around to see that they have no support system at all, and that the shenanigans is no longer allowed in this universe. And so we're going to have humans on the earth that are going to be the same way, that once the people realize that they're not in control anymore, and then now the rest of the population needs to step up and make changes, right? People still want to stay in their little comfort zone. They want to be told what to do, or they want to talk about what had occurred and why people did the things that they did. And we have no control over that. What we have control over is our own dial and setting our own destiny. And if I'm going to set my dial and my destiny, I want it to be someplace that I'm going to enjoy and that is helpful and hopeful and uplifting for everybody, not just me. Not just me, because if that was the case, I'd be living on an island by myself right now, because I don't feed into any of this, and nor do I listen to half the things that people are putting out. Because it takes me away from my own God source connection. That's who's my maker. And that's who my soul jumped into this physical body to do just that. To have heart-centered movements. And yeah, sometimes we have to go backwards a little bit. Sometimes we have to go forwards a little bit. Sometimes we got to go sideways. Sometimes we got to stand still. It's wherever we are and what we're training and honing into skill in this lifetime. So in my conversation earlier, someone gets their information through automatic writing. And it brought up to me, I used to try that. Every healer kept saying I should be automatic writing, and I would get into automatic writing, and then my writing would go sideways, and it would go really small, it would go big. I'd go back and look at it, and I wouldn't understand jack crap of what I wrote. So over the years, I just kind of got away from it. And then she was giving some good tips that she also gets it that way, but that she learns to control it through the lines of the paper so that she can go back and make sense of what it is and then remember and recall. And I thought, wow, maybe I need to add that back in to my heart space movements with me, myself, and I of the spirit to get more of this frequency flowing through my vessels. All right. So I was asking Spirit if there was anything else that I should be doing, or I don't like to use the word should or could or would, that would be helpful for me right now, because December was a super flatline month for me. It was bizarre. I felt the matrix disconnect. I felt it was just a void, a space and a void. And I went out of town for the week to visit family, and I knew I was different. And part of the reason I realized that I was different was because I've done all my work, and I've done it for decades, and I've worked it like it's my freaking job, and I've taught it like it's your freaking job, because it is. You have got to learn to tune in, and all this exterior stuff that you've been taught is how your life is supposed to be needs to fade away. Priority needs to be the heart, God, source center. So learning things through whatever modality it is that you choose that helps you to broaden and expand and open the cells to more to be delivered to you. And then you get yourself on a pathway to the authentic soul self versus the mind-gamed, controlled trance that we've all lived in, called life according to them, not according to your God source self. So I realized that one of the things that I teach a lot of is you do your work, and then you follow this intuit God source gut self, and you show up somewhere and it doesn't occur the way you've been shown. And you think to yourself, gosh, how did I get that wrong? I mean, what? Well, it's because the other people didn't follow their contracts and didn't do their work and didn't show up. So then someone like me stopped scratching her head a long time ago, because I realize that people just aren't showing up, that they will eventually. And then things just synergistically ink, 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 which is God's time, right? I mean, things that so divinely unfold before you is because everybody got into sync and wound up at the same location. So I was feeling disconnected from a lot of things, and I was having trouble putting my finger on what the heck was happening besides some of the other things that Spirit's been sharing. And it was because I've done all my work. I've done ins and outs of all of it. And I'm newly birthed here, ready to move forward, and my contractees aren't here yet. So I'm at this intersection and I'm by myself. So I'm feeling very abandoned and alone and pissed because I'm like, where are you people? Don't make me come down one of these intersections and fetch you, because I'm about to. So there was a part of me that had to go, okay, are y'all coming? Are you coming? Are you coming? Until I could figure out how to get my own cascade of hormones to balance out and know that they're coming. It's just taking them a little bit longer, which is a little frustrating for me because it's calling for patience. But that's me. But how many other people are you letting down because you're not doing your work? You're not doing your work like it's your job, because it is your job. It's what your soul came in here to do. The making money and the paying bills, that's over there. That's honestly over there. If you pay attention to the spirit, soul, self, and the guidance of the driver's seat of that soul self, then you'll realize that you can be totally tuned in, and maybe your job for making money is a little different than what you actually got into. So that's a whole other video. So anyway, I pulled this card, and it was called, I think you can see that. So it's called The Last Cloak, Releasing Old Identities, Magnificence Realized, Unveiling Your Highest Truth, Source Self Light Body. And so when I realized who I thought I was, I allowed the true depths of my divine beingness to be revealed to me in this moment. My heart shines with joyful starlight. So what we've got to realize is that the puppet makers are gone, the puppet masters are gone, and you need to get out of your box. You need to take off the last cloak and understand you're not here alone. And if you look around, you'll know. Okay? The other thing I pulled for today was this one. So you see that? It's manifest. It's co-create, gratitude, divine alignment, joyful visions, consciously focus on blessings, joyful visions, align with the divine. I embrace my divine abilities of instant manifestation as the creator on earth that I am. So these two beauties say a lot. They say a lot. You got to take off that last coat of armor, that last cloak, and realize you're not alone. And now it's time to truly start with a clean whiteboard and visualize what it is that you want to manifest. To really visualize it. Visualize it, feel it, begin to walk it, write it, tweak it, but ask from your authentic heart. Is what I'm feeling that I want match what I'm thinking what I want? That's where you're going to get into a frequency, my friends, is feelings need to come first now. That's your empathic blueprint. And until you learn how to accept that, hone it in, and skill it, which I did as a young child, till it's an acute information filter for me. Acute. And it's never wrong. It's never wrong. And I don't let it get all jammed up and blocked up in my physical body. And if it does, then I got to talk to it. All right? So don't sweat the things you cannot control. Set your dial. Look around. You are a free and sovereign being. Nothing owns you. Have the courage to walk away from a job if they're asking you to do something you know is ethically and morally wrong through your God self source. Whatever that may be. Walk away from relationships that do not serve your God source ethics and morals. If your housing development, if your friends and family do not serve the frequency, have the courage to walk away until you can learn how to hone in and zip up that energy, and then you can walk amongst them all. But you can't climb the ladder when people have a hold of your feet, pulling you down all the time. And that's what it feels like when you're amongst people that don't resonate in the way that you're creating this new residency under the hood, right? It's all good under the hood. If you want it to be all good under the hood, then you got to do your tune-ups every day. And you gotta give it the best fuel every day and ask your body what that is, because what might be right for you might not be right for someone else. And anyone that's telling you, oh, you gotta be vegan, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta meditate for an hour, you gotta be in this position. Out of my face. Do it your way. Do it your way and only your way. Start little. Till you learn to master things. And once you start connecting with some of these messages and this feeling of frequency, then you're going to know that you're in the right direction. You'll go a little bit more and your guides will tell you, your higher self will tell you. And you have got amazing frequencies being spread all over to give you the courage to step up and step out of the old paradigm that was trancing you to think that that was your life. And if you want any coaching, or you want to get in touch with your soul and you want to know more about yourself, it's what I do. It'll be in the description on my website. But you got to have the courage to step in to that arena and make the appointment. And trust that the information that comes through to you will be for building this higher destiny and for helping you work with your frequency dials. And it's freaking awesome. Do me another favor, please. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell, hit all. And I like messages. So leave me one of those, a nice one, because I appreciate those more. All right. Much love. And until the next video, happy Tuesday.